Greetings, everyone. Our beautiful planetary system, sisters, relatives, cousins, uncles, aunts, grandfathers, grandmothers of the earth. Welcome to the Founding Mothers Movement opening ceremony for the Red Tent Strike and Jubilee. We open now with a prayer. O beloved Creator, deepest mystery, bringing forth all of creation in all of its majesty, glory, complexity, and beauty. We invite your presence, the presence of all of the masters of creation. We invite our ancestors, and we invite all of our hearts to be open to receive your blessings, your guidance, your inspiration. And as we gather throughout the week inside of our red tents, that we bring the wisdom, the healing, and the nurturance to heal the sacred womb that is within each woman and within each heart, the sacred womb that is actually birthing forth all of creation. And we're also going to be inviting all of the four directions. Christina Herrera, representing the East and the color red.
Sí, representando de nuevo, ¿verdad? Esta oración unidad con ustedes, representamos la alegría de cada día, representamos el maíz, que es la vida, que es el maíz, representamos todo lo que es la tierra que es alimentada también por el sol. Nosotros representamos también la luz del sol. Les puedo decir tantas cosas hermosas, pero me siento que estoy hablando en español y no me entiende nadie, entonces siento como que estoy hablando sola, ¿no? Pero desde el corazón les mando la pasión de la mujer del Este. Les mando el amor de la mujer del Este. Les mando el alimento de la mujer. Porque las mujeres del Este y de todo el mundo somos el alimento de la tierra. Somos el alimento de la humanidad, somos la cuna del universo, somos lo más importante que existe porque tenemos el poder de hacer crecer un ser amado, de hacer crecer la humanidad dentro de nosotros mismos. Pues, la mujer del Este les da la bienvenida a todos para que unamos ese pedacito de ser humano que que va a ser el cambio cuando nosotros estemos completas en la unidad, completas en el amor y completas cuando dejemos de existir para un sistema capitalista.
And we move now to Molly McGettigan Arthur, who is representing the South and the color white.
Create in me a pure heart that with the white sense of purity and love and offering that mothers offer with their unconditional love to their children and to their grandchildren. May we offer our beauty to the spirit of the world and our Mother Earth so that she and we together as life givers can become beloved ancestors with our pure hearts and our pure bodies and our pure lives and our pure spirits. Amen.
And we move now to Ayoola-Amale, who is going to be honoring the West and the color black.
I invite you to the West, the place where the sun sets, the place where darkness ascends. And I invite you to awaken to love, loving that darkness. It represents the womb, the place where creation of life manifests on earth. As we move out of a warmongering mindset into awakening to loving, we move into the space where we begin to take the power that is in the feminine and share it out, awakening to love. This is the time. May it be so.
And we move now to our beloved Tulaya Ponperialkuchai, who will be representing the North and the color yellow.
Thank you, Tunwi. Oh, sacred forces of the golden radiance, I stand firm in love, devotion, and prayers, celebrating the feminine wisdom of the ancestors and all who carry the codes of remembering through generations. Turning to the sacred North, may your stillness awaken our inner knowing. May your discipline sharpen our discernment. May your grace guide us in the way of simplicity and devotion. Teach us how to listen beyond words and to see with more than eyes, and to bow when nothing needs to be said. I am the daughter of the golden lineages. May I never forget the gift you've placed in my blood and in my bone and in my breath. In honoring you, O most beloved, in honoring all, I offer this prayer, waving of the lights. I offer you this arati. Karo kripa Sadhguru Jagatarana Satapata Darshaka Bhranti Nivarana Jaya ho nitya jyoti dikalane Vale lila daraki Arati karu guru araki Arati karu saguru ki pyare guru araki Arati karu guru araki.
O beloved Creator, we open this week to spend time in the red tent. And we thank you for the blood that flows not only through our hearts and our bodies, nourishing our minds and our spirits in all that way, but for the blood in the womb, which is passed down generation after generation, full of love and nurturance. And may this love and nurturance fill our red tents as we meet throughout the week. And this is an opening ceremony, opening to the majesty of really deepening and accepting our divinity and our majesty while we're even still human. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Founding Mothers Red Tent Full Moon Celebration and Strike. My name is Keshia Morris Desir, and I will be your Mistress of Ceremonies for today. The Founding Mothers movement launched last year with two simple yet sacred goals: universal rights for all women and ending war. Our mission is to shift the paradigm from patriarchy and militarism to planetary partnership and peace. We believe that if these two issues are resolved, all of the other existential threats facing our humanity then become solvable, including wealth inequality, protecting our precious planet, and addressing the dangers of artificial intelligence. The opening 4 direction ceremony that you just witnessed was performed by these wisdom keepers. First, grandmother Ejna Fleury, who is on our executive team of Founding Mothers movement. She is a member of the 7th Council of Fire's Great Sioux Nation and serves as peace ambassador to Crow Creek tribe of South Dakota. Her mission is to awaken our collective recognition that we have always been holy. And her prayer is that humanity learn to live in accord with our beloved earth and the cosmos. Maria Cristina Herrera in the East is the executive director of the Fundación Cultural Comante, which empowers women to co-create a culture of nonviolence. At the nonprofit El Cantico, she works on land stewardship by weaving ecology with the feminine wisdom and spirituality. Molly McGannigan Arthur in the South works in the Society of the Sacred Heart. Her colonist Catholic ancestry has led her to work on reparations projects with Indigenous people. She curates Waking Up to Our Own History and the Women's Collective Matrix. Reverend Mutima Amani in the West is a social justice visionary, master trainer, and facilitator. She works to heal the heart of humanity by providing 21st century tools for personal and professional transformation. Tuleya Pompriyakikuya in the North is the founder of Empathy Architects, where she builds meaningful connections and experiences geared towards personal transformation and collective well-being. The Red Tent campaign is a global call to action by the Founding Mothers movement. We chose this theme because it features the blood bond all women share. In the olden days, women would go into the Red Tent or Moon Lodge during their monthly cycle. This was a celebratory time for women to break free from everyday life when they would commune with each other, rest, and rejuvenate. Most importantly, the Red Tent provided these women with a safe space to worship as they see fit, including reverence for the divine feminine and our sacred moon cycle. Today's rally, we have honored many guests who support the Red Tent and the amazing work of the Founding Mothers movement. Our first guest is DeAnna Lamb, who was born in Romania and grew up in Israel. In 1992, she began the personal journey towards embracing her cycle, which led to Reverse the Curse. In 1994, she convened the first menstrual empowerment cycle, and the response was overwhelming. DeAnna saw the deep need all women have for healing and reclaiming the adolescent girl within us, who might not have been welcomed into womanhood. Internationally, DeAnna is now recognized as a pioneer in menstrual empowerment. She is also the author of Becoming Peers, Mentoring Girls into Womanhood, and The Diva's Guide into Getting Your Period. She is the founder of the Red Moon School of Empowerment and Women and Girls and Red Tents in Every Neighborhood. Known as a womb visionary, DeAnna teaches women and girls how to love themselves unconditionally and gather spiritual strength from their moon cycle. Today, she will lead us into a guided meditation on the blood bond that all women share.
Hello, welcome everyone. It's a delight to be here and embracing women and men supporters all over the world. I'm going to start with kindling the light, lighting a candle for us. If the camera can see the flame. Inviting us to kindle the light within our hearts, within our womb, within our soul. Inviting us to close our eyes and place our hands, one on our heart and one on our womb. If you don't have a womb in your body, you have come from one. We all come from the womb. If your womb has been surgically removed, you still have an energetic, etheric womb imprinted in you. We all have a consciousness of the womb because we all came of one, and some of us have one inside our body. The womb is the ultimate place of inclusion, where two hearts beat as one, mother's heart and baby's heart. One bloodstream shared. There is no room for inclusion, for exclusion in the womb. It's the ultimate inclusion of the other, the ultimate inclusion of that which is not me, my other self. You were the other self in your mother's body. If you were pregnant in this lifetime, there was an other self inside of you. From the womb, we learn that coexistence and inclusion are possible and are the way that our body models peace, the body that is wisdom, the body that is bloodshed. The only bloodshed that comes from the womb is the only bloodshed that does not come from a wound, that does not come with the aim to harm. It comes for life. We bleed as women under the moon, expanding and contracting our consciousness, bleeding and flowing with the blood of life, creating the space where new life can coexist within the life that already exists. During pregnancy, a mother's blood is shared with her baby, and her womb grows 50 times as big as it was when she's not pregnant. We can grow, we can expand, we can include the other. That's what the womb teaches us. The teachings of the womb are the teachings of peace. There is no way in which we can't ignore the womb's teaching, allowing us to be one with another. Let's take a moment to remember the time of the womb we came from, honoring our mother, the womb inside of us if we have one, the womb inside all women around the world, the womb inside future generations not yet born, the womb that allows us to coexist. Breathe into your heart. Breathe into your womb. Breathe into inclusion. For in the womb, we all are one. Let's take a deep breath together. In honoring the consciousness of the womb. Let's return with our eyes closed into this moment, into this circle, into our body sitting on the chair, into the circle around the world that we are part of, into the cosmic womb of the great mother of us all, the womb of creation, where we all come from. And with another deep breath, let's gently open our eyes.
Thank you so much, DeAnna, for that wonderful guided meditation. Next, we will introduce Dr. Anodea Judith, who is a globally recognized spiritual teacher and the author of many best-selling books on psychology, spirituality, and yoga, and women's leadership. Her books have been translated into 29 languages. She is the founder of Sacred Centers Academy and the creator of the She Rises movement. Now a part of the Founding Mothers movement, Anodea serves in the Peace Room as part of the executive team. She is a member of the Evolutionary Leaders Cycle, who has been called the prophet of our time. Anodea is also an ordained priestess. Today, she will continue our ceremonial theme by sharing insights into the magic and mystery of the Great Mother and the archetype of the High Priestess, from whom all women are born, our sacred blood bond is sealed.
Greetings, everyone. What a time we are living in. We're coming to a time when the centuries, if not millennia, of masculine domination have shown us their inevitable result: environmental degradation, political corruption, and violent conflict. You know, it's not that men are bad or wrong in any way, for we have all inherited a paradigm that has outserved its usefulness and is no longer appropriate for the current age. Men have given us a world full of wonders, ones that allow international communication, which we're using right now, travel and collaboration, and ability to connect with each other. But in the process, something vital and sacred has been lost, a kind of moral fiber that sees all life in unity, that values peace, compassion, connection, love, and beauty. The feminine face of the divine has now been so lost that most people don't even know it is missing or that it even ever existed. The divine has a purely masculine face, serving the transcendent that has reached a perilous disconnection. The feminine divine is immanent. It's inside us. It's inside all living things, the plants and the animals. It's inside our spirit, and it is the manifested realm. And along with the loss of the goddess, we have also lost archetypes of female leadership. And with this comes a frightening loss of female leaders in our world, and an added difficulty for women to be seen as leaders, even when they are highly qualified. Difficulty for women to be taken seriously and to be seen as commanders-in-chief or presidents or, leaders of country. It's much more difficult because we don't honor these female archetypes. So we've lost such archetypes as the midwife, the oracle, or the priestess. Others have been taken for granted, such as the maiden or the mother or the crone. And still others are yet arising, such as the activist, as 60% of activists are women, or the trailblazer, or the diva. So what I'm going to show next is a video of the priestess archetype speaking from my deck of cards, the She Rises archetypes. And this is played by Elaine Kalila
in my She Rises live performance I did a couple years ago, and it will show you the cyclic nature of the goddess who never dies.
I am the priestess. I am the living conduit of the goddess. My duty is to serve her above all else. Through me, she remains alive in the hearts and minds of her people. I am the guardian to her mysteries. I am the mistress of magic. I am the keeper of her temple, and I am a weaver of the ways and a guardian to her mysteries. I come to you as maiden, as mother, and crone. I am the oracle, uttering words of the divine. I am the alchemist with her scents and potions. Always the midwife standing between the worlds. I stand at the threshold between the unknown and the known, guarding her mysteries with my life. Once I was revered, you may remember. I walked the lands freely. I blessed the animals and the herds thrived. I blessed the crops and there was plenty. I blessed the soldiers as they went off to war. And I loved them when they returned. But after they raped me, after they destroyed my temple, after the goddess's words were forbidden from my lips, the herds began to get sickly. You know the story. The crops began to fail. The springs began to dry up. And I was blamed and shamed for the chaos that had followed. I was punished. I was exiled. I was tortured. I was burned at the stake. Until now. I lie in the earth, the deep and silent, dark earth, forgotten, forgotten, forgotten. But I did not die, for I am the goddess and she is eternal. I live in you. I am within every single one of you. And I am awakening and I am rising up from the underworld. Have you seen me? Do you feel me? I am here, picking up her chalice. I am here, singing her praises once again, dancing in the cycle of life once again, uttering her prayers. I am here, beating her drum and dancing the cycle of life. I am her holy chalice. And I am here, making the world sacred once again. Making the world sacred once again. Making your world sacred once again. I am priestess, and I serve.
Thank you, Anodea. And what a powerful video. Let us all embrace the goddess within ourselves. Thank you. Now, it is my great privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Marianne Williamson. For more than 4 decades, Marianne has provided us with inspirational teachings and political leadership. She has authored 16 books, including 4 #1 New York Times bestsellers. 2 of her books focus on American politics, Healing the Soul of America, and The Politics of Love. Marianne has been a grassroots activist for 35 years, focusing on democracy, peace building, women empowerment, and racial reconciliation. In 1989, she founded Project Angel Food, where she delivered more than 18 million meals to ill and dying patients in the Los Angeles area. In 2004, she co-founded the Peace Alliance, which supports the creation of a U.S. Department of Peace, a global founding mothers share. In 2020 and 2024, Marianne ran for Democratic presidential nomination, highlighting issues such as race and reparation, environmental justice, and fixing the American healthcare system. The founding mothers are honored to have Marianne endorse our mission of planetary partnership and peace. Welcome, Marianne.
The conversation around the Red Tent movement and the founding mothers is so important because, I remember a line, I think was from Werner Erhard, who said, you can live your life one of 2 ways. You can live it out of circumstances or out of a vision. And what the founding mothers movement represents is a vision for a much better world, and a vision in which the centrality of the feminine in male and female people is recognized, because the vision of the female, the vision of the feminine, has to do with taking care of our children, our sisterhood with each other, and taking care of our home. When I was a child, my mother used to say that a woman's primary function had to do with taking care of children, taking care of her home. I thought that was kind of retro, and I thought that my mother didn't understand. My mother understood more. I think we all feel you get older and you realize your mother was smarter than you thought. It's just that at this point in our evolution, we have to see that as care for every woman's child, every child. And also we have to see care of our home as care of the earth itself, which is our collective home. This is not just theology, theory, philosophy, spiritual, like jargon or something. This is very relevant to the world in which we live, because we are living at a time in the evolution of the species where our collective behavioral patterns we've moved beyond dysfunctional to malfunctional, and we must evolve to an order of things which is harmonious with nature itself. One of the characteristics of the adult female in every advanced mammalian species is her sense of fierceness when faced with what she senses as a threat to her cubs. This is true of the bear, of the tiger, the lion, and it's not true enough of us. When you look at the assaults on women throughout the world and the assaults on children throughout the world, they are absolutely unacceptable. And not only are they unacceptable, they are unsustainable. And also, to be honest, they remain in place because of the complacency of women. We are the only advanced mammalian species where we are not collectively demonstrating the kind of fierceness that is necessary. It is not an accident that as authoritarian forces rise in the world, and yes, I do mean in the United States, it is not an accident that a diminishment, limitation on the rights of women and a withhold from educational and health opportunities for children is so rampant at this time. Whether it has to do with attacking the reproductive rights of women, whether it has to do with attacking the voting rights of women, whether it has to do with the government declaring that when grants are drawn up, that if it sees the word woman in it, then, the grant will not be accepted. I mean, it's so outrageous, except it's the times in which we are living. So the vision for what's possible at this point cannot be just, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? It has to include the fierceness of recognizing that right now, the things that we within the divine feminine find most dear are under attack by a counterforce. And that, I don't even want to call it patriarchal, because this is against men as well as women. This is an anti-life in a way. It's a diminishment of the possibilities, the God-given potential within us all. And that's what woman stands for, whether it's woman or feminine, the womb, giving birth. Whether you're giving birth to a child, or you're giving birth to a creative project, you're giving birth to your talents, giving birth to your desires, you're giving birth to justice, you're giving birth to love. No matter who we are, no matter what our age, younger women have to, in order for the species to survive, obviously, there has to be physical procreation, but a woman, no matter what our age, our job is to help birth a better world. And there is a counterforce. And that counterforce in many ways is rampant on the earth. It is inherent in an economic system which sees making money as separate from ethical commitment, moral commitment, humanitarian commitment, which sees the earth as something to just use for humanity's utilitarian purposes without any sense of moral responsibility to be good stewards of nature, which sees children and old people as, they're not particularly of use to this economic and social and political system that is only about creating more resources for a very few. So children are given short shrift, the earth is given short shrift, older people are given short shrift. And it is at this time up to us as women to hold a line and say no. That is what the bear does. That's what the lion does. That's what the tiger does. I remember when I can't remember what state, Montana or someplace, and they were talking about black bears. And they were saying, black bears, they're okay with human beings. They're not coming after you, but don't come after their cubs. Because if you come after the cubs, a lot of people, there's been a big deal in states like that. Because, oh, he's such a cute cub. I want to go say hi. No. Because the mother will see that as a threat. Now, the reason that's important is that's why the species survives. This is the survival of our species that we're talking about. And I was with my own granddaughter the other day. A newborn cries and is so cute and so cuddly. Well, nature has made it that way. Because if they weren't so cute and they weren't so cuddly, then you might abandon the baby. You wouldn't realize what a big deal it was. There's something about a baby's cry. We are, through evolution, hormonally programmed. You can't leave a crying baby alone. You have to, pick it up. You're so cute. We are hormonally programmed to love it. And something happens, we've lived in the world and we think, my child matters. But the love that will save the world cannot just be the love for your child. It has to be the love for all of our children. And it can't be love just for our home. It has to be love for this collective home that we share. I remember when I watched a film about the witch burnings made by the Canadian Film Board. I think it was called The Burning Times. And it was talking about how these hundreds of thousands of women who were burned during that phase of Western history, the reason there was this drive to destroy women of power, because that's what the word witch meant, wise women, passionate, free-thinking children, it said. Passionate, free-thinking adults raise passionate, free-thinking children. And passionate, free-thinking children grow up to become adults, very difficult to manipulate and almost impossible to control. And that's why the mother feminine is attacked, because of our capacity to raise children who are invulnerable to the machinations of such a system. These are very serious times. There is no point in our participating with a movement such as this unless we're going to take it very seriously right now. This is not just about dancing under the moon, and cut velvet scarves and candlelight. This is about something very, very serious. And it does have to do with rising authoritarianism, totalitarianism, and some of the worst faces of humanity collectively that is on the rise and on the march. And we as women who are participating in a conversation such as this are ready to rise to the occasion. I believe that. Otherwise, this wouldn't even be existing. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. But I think it begins by taking the role of motherhood very seriously. Motherhood as in mothering a new world that is struggling to be born. Because it is this parallel phenomenon where one world is falling apart, another world is struggling to be born. The world that's falling apart is being torn down. And sometimes the Divine Mother says no. Love can be fierce. That mama bear is fierce. That mama tiger is fierce. We, I believe, have to be fierce now. Founding mothers, we will do anything to protect our babies, and we will do anything to protect our babies yet to be born. We're not angry. We're just not kidding. And we see forces that represent limitation, degradation, desecration, violence, fear, and destruction. And our role is to say, we won't be doing that. And if enough of us are clear about that and find that place within ourselves, things will change. We're actually the majority of the species, remember. So much that's happening that shouldn't be happening would not be happening if we hadn't looked away. Let's not look away now. So it's an honor to be with you, an honor to have this conversation with you, to share. In the Course in Miracles, it says an idea grows stronger when it is shared. So kudos to the Founding Mothers movement for sharing a conversation that I believe matters. Martin Luther King said our lives begin to end on the day we stop talking about things that matter. If ever there was a calling of history to talk about things that matter, to speak into existence, that's a womb right there. Consciousness is a womb. Speak it into existence. Speak into the possibilities. Say yes to what needs to be. Have yes said to it. And no when no needs to be said. This is a moment that calls us to everything that we know in our guts and in our hearts we are capable of. Let's share that faith with one another. Thank you so much.
Wow. What an amazing offering of wisdom. Thank you so much, Marianne. I will take from that it is up to us as women to hold the line. Thank you. Next, we have another phenomenal speaker with us, Sadhvi Bhagawati Sarawati is a renowned spiritual leader, and she holds a doctorate degree in psychology. For the past 25 years, she has lived on the banks of the sacred Ganga River in the lap of the Himalayas, engaged in spiritual service and sacred action. Her best-selling memoir is entitled Hollywood to the Himalayas, a journey of healing and transformation. Sadhvi is the Secretary General of the Global Interfaith WASH Alliance, an organization dedicated to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. She is president of the Divine Sakwati Foundation, which provides free vocational training, and she is the director of International Yoga Festival in Rakeshish. As co-president of Religions for Peace, she unites the world's religious leaders. She also serves on the UN Advisory Council on Religion. Sadhvi is a true master of the spiritual realm with a profound understanding of the human condition. Her teachings blend ancient wisdom and modern insights by merging the knowledge of logic and wisdom, knowledge and logic of the West with the insights and wisdoms of the East. She serves as a spiritual bridge between the two cultures. Today, we are privileged to have Sadhvi with us to talk about wisdom, the feminine wisdom, and our sisterly blood bond.
What an honor and what a joy to celebrate with my sisters and our mothers and our daughters at this sacred time of the full moon. This fullness of the moon that reminds us of our fullness. Because the moon, of course, never changes shape. She looks full now. Sometimes she looks half. We see waxing and waning cycles, and it looks like her shape is changing. But the moon never changes shape. She's always full. It's just the alignment of her rotation and our rotation that makes it look full or not full. And it's such a beautiful teaching because as women, so many of us carry a sense within us that we are lacking in some fundamental way, that we're not successful enough or beautiful enough or smart enough or rich enough. And this sacred full moon reminds us, you're always full, always full. But your fullness is able to be best visualized, and you're able to best share that light when you come back into this alignment between the divine light, the light of source, the light of the divine, whatever word we use, it doesn't matter, and the world upon which we are shining. The moon is able to shine her fullest light when she's in this perfect alignment between the sun and the earth. She doesn't have to create the light. She doesn't have to manufacture it. It doesn't have to come from within her. She just has to be in this beautiful alignment. And then we all have the blessing of a full moon. And in the same way with us, as we want to share light with the world, don't worry about figuring out how you're going to manufacture it or create it or make it happen in you. It's all about how you align yourself with that power, what we call in Sanskrit Shakti, of the divine, allowing it to flow through you as you, and then through you onto others, onto the world. And to celebrate this full moon together with my sisters, in this celebration and honoring of this red tent and of the sacred menstrual cycle is so beautiful. The ceremony of uniting with Mother Earth, flowing from within back into the earth, in an openness, in a nakedness, in a willingness, in an expansiveness. This is the core of what we as women are called to do and also called to receive, because our relationship with Mother Earth, even during our menstrual time, is not unidirectional. It's not we are bleeding into the earth, but we are bleeding into the earth, and the earth is filling us. Mother Earth is filling us with that Shakti, with that power that is coming into us at that time through our openness, through that surrender, through that offering. And even at times of the month when we're no longer menstruating, or even when we have entered the phases of menopause, we still are able to offer of ourselves to the earth in surrender, in love, in service, in offering. It won't be menstrual blood, but it can be our intention, our attention, our love, our energy. So the teaching of this red tent and the ceremony has so many facets. Number one, never allow menstruation to be taboo. Never allow it to be something that we feel badly about, or that, in India where I live, sadly, so many girls and women refer to it as a monthly problem or a monthly illness. I remember when I first went to India and I heard girls saying, "Oh, I'm down." And I come from a psychology background. I thought they meant, I'm depressed. And I would say, "Oh, let's go to the temple. Let's go to the banks of Mother Ganga. Let's bathe in the sacred river." And they'd say, "Oh, I can't, I'm down." And I realized that "I'm down" was colloquial for I am on my menstrual cycle. But there's such a taboo around it. And we've been working in India to remove that taboo. And this ceremony and these teachings is so powerful because the taboo, of course, it lives here as well. May not be quite as much, but it's still there. It's seen as a problem. It's seen as just something to be dealt with. Some obstacle, some hindrance. I want to do something, but I can't because I'm menstruating. Oh, I don't feel so good. I'm menstruating. But to shift the vision that this is a time of reclaiming, re-recognizing, re-remembering our power and our inextricable link to Mother Earth, to the moon, to all of creation. And in that, as I have shared with so many girls in India, to change their colloquialism, to never again say "I'm down," but to say "I'm up." I'm up because the power of the divine creator flows through me. That's why we menstruate. If there were no menstruation, there could be no creation. Menstruation is the symbol, the power of creation. And so at this time, we open ourselves to that power of the divine and knowing that it flows through us. And I wish that I had been raised in my menstruating days in a red tent ceremony. I wish I had had the opportunity. I was just saying this is now the first item on my bucket list for next life, is to actually be able to take part in that. Because the sacredness of it, the purity of it, the power of it, and lastly, the truth of it. So many girls and women are cut off from their feminine power, from the power of menstruation, but also from just that power of creation that flows through us. And reclaiming our menstruation, reclaiming our menstrual blood, reclaiming our sisterhood with the moon, with each other, with the earth, is perhaps the most important thing that we can do. Not just for our own spiritual growth, but for bringing balance and healing back into the world. I'm so grateful for this beautiful opportunity to be together with you all today. And a happy, happy Mother's Day to you all. And a happy Mother's Day to the moon, to Mother Earth, to Mother Nature.
Again, powerful, powerful stuff. Thank you so much, Sadhvi. Our next offering is from DeAnna Dresser, a lifelong musician who teaches at the Kirtan Leaders Institute. Her Kirtan album, is entitled From the Soul. She sings with the Boulder Bass, Mike Cohen, and Shatik Groove, and she has produced 3 albums of the original folk rock music with her band Vertigo Road. Now let's breathe in deeply and take in Dawna's musical gifts.
Thank you. This is the chant Adi Shakti to bring in the most beautiful primal power of the divine feminine even more strongly into us. Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo. Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo. Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo. Kundalini Mata Shakti, Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo. Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo. Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo. Kundalini Mata Shakti, Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. Namo Namo. Namo Namo. First force of all creation, to you I bow. Divine force everywhere, to you I bow. Creative force, primal force, to you I bow. Divine force rising up, to you I bow. Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo. Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo. Oh, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Namo Namo. I have one more offering by Ejna, and I think that this song called The Sacred really perfectly encapsulates the sentiment of the red tent and all the work that the founding mothers are doing. In this moment, the earth stands still. Time unwinds its coil. Life is filled to the brim with spaciousness. Oh, how simple. Oh, the sacred. Oh, unfolding sighs and cries rang out. A universal openness. Each spirit here sang into ferocious love. No fear here, 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 no fear here. Oh, the sacred. Oh, the sacred. Oh, the sacred. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Wow. Thank you, Dawnia, for blessing us with your beautiful gift. There is no fear here. Thank you. Our next speakers are Eva Dalak and Dr. Elana Sztokman. Eva is a peace facilitator and psychologist with over 30 years of experience working in conflict zones across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. She co-hosts the Women Ending War podcast and writes The Other Narrative on Substack. As founder of the nonprofit Peace Activation, she specializes in conflict transformation and women's political and economic empowerment. Elana is an anthropologist, feminist, and peace activist, and two-time winner of the National Jewish Book Council Award. In her Substack, The Roar, and her latest book, In My Jewish State, she advocates for systemic change and ending the violence in Israel and Palestine. Along with Eva, Elana co-hosts the podcast Women Ending War. Now, let's hear from these two women coming to us from the Holy Land.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eva Dalak, and I'm recording this from Ramallah, Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Elana Sztokman, and I'm here in Modi'in, Israel.
And we're both here sharing a message of inspiration in this time of dear distress, despair, and hopelessness. We both have been collaborating together in a podcast called Women Ending War, which we deeply believe is possible. Hope is an action. And I often say that the womb of woman can carry two hearts in one body. And if we are able to carry two hearts in one body, we're able to hold also several narratives in one being. And that's what we're coming here to share with you.
One of the things that I find deeply inspiring is the work I do with Eva, our conversations, our encounters, the ongoing work with many groups of women, Palestinian and Israeli women, speaking together, working together, acting together, crying out together. Even when we have very different lives and experiences, we share a vision for a different future, for a different reality that comes from maybe our wombs. Is that the message here? Yes. That it comes from our deep internal source of compassion. The womb as a source for compassion and empathy and nurturing and caring and creation, our ability to create new things in a new future. Even when the world around us looks harsh and bleak and violent. We know we come with this womb energy and we share that no matter where we come from, and we are able to craft a new reality. So good luck to all of you and good luck to all of us in that work, and may it be blessed work, peace-filled work, divine work.
Thank you, Elana. And yeah, for me as well, peace is an action, and we can activate peace in the real world. It's not just an utopia. It's not just a vision. It's something that is accessible for us in the here and now. If we are allowing our feminine nature, and feminine for woman and man, the feminine that come to balance the masculine and be holding the compassion, courage, creativity that is our birthright. Freedom and security are not opposing force. They are partners. They are partners for peace. And we can have freedom and security and dignity and peace for all of our companion and for all of our collaborator and for all of our enemies. I think that we have to shift the language that we have around the other, that the other, if I acknowledge the other narrative or the other reality, I deny my own. We can coexist together in different narrative, in radically different way of being, and yet we are one. We're all interrelated. And this is our message for you today. Thank you.
As Eva always teaches me, peace starts within. In order to bring peace to the world, we start with peace within. Compassion to the world starts with compassion for ourselves, no matter where we come from. Yes, and learn to bring that kindness even to people who are in radically different places than we are. So thank you for all the learning, Eva. Thank you for teaching me so much about peace activation.
Thank you, Elana. Thank you for supporting the work that we are all doing to end the war.
Thank you so much, Eva and Elena, for your wonderful words of wisdom. Next, our speaker is Ayoola-Amale, who also holds a JD. She is the lead consultant at First Conflict Resolution Services, a management consulting firm dedicated to conflict prevention and transformative peace building. As a feminist, peace activist, social entrepreneur, and creative visionary for progressive structural change, she takes meaningful action on causes that matter. Ayo's legal training allows her to integrate human rights and restorative practices for women's empowerment. She often infuses art forms to develop new thinking around economic and social change for sustainable development. She is the founder of the Ghana branch of the International Women's League for Peace and Freedom and the International Cities of Peace initiatives in Nigeria. She also serves as the Peace Rooms in the Peace Room of the Founding Mothers Movement. And today she'll be talking about the nexus between women and war.
Thank you, Keshia. Thank you. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from around the world. The connection between women and war, the SDG 5, Sustainable Development Goals 5, and economic development. The gendered impact of war significantly affects women and society, often intensifying existing inequalities. Women face increased risk of violence, displacement, and economic hardship, while their voices in peace building and recovery are crucial for fostering resilience and sustainable development. Women play a crucial role in conflict and peace building, but often they are least on the mediation panels. They are least in the peace building. They are least in conflict resolution, and these fields are dominated by men. So if we want to influence economic development and the achievement of the SDG 5 tied to the other SDGs, the 16 SDGs, then we have to be serious with SDG 5, because without SDG 5 succeeding, the other can't. So the gendered impact of war often worsens inequalities, yet empowering women can lead to sustainable peace and economic development. Integrating feminist perspectives into the 2030 agenda. We know that the 2030 agenda is built around the SDG, is essential for holistic development. Why are we saying this? The intersection of women and war and economic development is critical in understanding global peace and security. Women as agents of change often take on leadership roles in peace processes. We know that women, even in ancient times, play leadership roles when it comes to peace building, when it comes to organizing the home and making everything work, both socially and economically, contributing to more sustainable outcomes. Their involvement can lead to better economic recovery and stability. As we know that Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is gender equality and empowerment of women, is vital in conflict and post-conflict settings. Economic impact of war and conflict. War disrupts economies. We can see what is happening in Gaza. We can see what is happening in Ukraine, Ethiopia, Sudan, and the Central Africa Republic. When war disrupts economies, it disproportionately affects women. Women are more impacted, and they are often primary caregivers. We know that role that has been assigned to women. I don't know, perhaps through patriarchy or how we were formed or whatever, but the truth is that we're assigned as primary caregivers and providers. When war broke out, that can't even happen anymore because we are saddled with more problem of caregiving. The men are at war, they are being killed, their sons are being killed, so women are saddled with more caregiving roles, and they are often raped, and all sorts of problems. Empowering women economically can mitigate this problem, this adverse effect of conflict, and promote resilience. That's why we said there's a gender impact to conflict, because the burden is not proportionate. Women and girls face unique challenges during conflicts, including risk to increased vulnerability due to violence, displacement, and food insecurity. They often sacrifice their own needs for their families. They go out to fetch water. They go out to look for food. They prepare the meals. They take care of the wounded. These are all the issues that women face. So you find there's hunger, there's displacement. In conflict zones, women are more likely to experience food insecurity, water shortages. For instance, in regions like Syria, Ukraine, Sudan, Palestine, the world is full of wars now, unfortunately. So women head households. They report higher levels of food scarcity and economic hardship. So the gendered impact of war significantly affects women and society, often worsening existing inequalities. Women face increased risk of violence, as we said. So what are the roles that women play, really, in peace building? Because women play very critical roles. Women's participation in peace negotiations has been shown to decrease the likelihood of conflict reoccurrence. That's data. It's what we have seen over time. So it's the reality. So it's important that women are included in peace processes, in negotiations, in mediation. Their perspectives are essential, often unique, and they address the root causes of violence, fostering long-term peace. They bring community resilience. Women often lead community initiatives to rebuild and sustain livelihoods like post-conflict, demonstrating their critical role in economic development and social cohesion. So the role of women is not just caregiving. It's beyond that. It's also part of peace building. So integrating feminist peace in the 2030 agenda. The 2030 agenda is tied to SDGs, the 16 SDGs. Key to that is SDG 5. That is the one for the women and the girls. So the global goals and the 2030 agenda for sustainable development seek to end poverty and hunger and to realize the human rights of all and achieve gender equality. So here you have the SDG 5 coming in again, tied to that 2030, which bettered the SDGs, the 17 SDGs, the 16 SDGs. So the feminist perspectives, what is it that we're talking about? Incorporating feminist approaches, mainstreaming gender, 1325, United Nations Security Council resolution, Maputo Protocol, and all the subsequent resolutions that have followed that are, enhancing human rights, women's rights, and empowerment. So we have incorporating feminist approaches, mainstreaming gender into the 2030 agenda ensures that gender equality is prioritized in all aspects of development. All aspects of development, including conflict resolution and economic policies. That's the way forward for the world. So what are the policy recommendations? Strengthen women's voices in decision-making processes, promote gender-responsive economic policies that address the specific needs of women in conflict-affected area. And by the way, promote gender policies is not just in conflict. In conflict, is in peacetime, because women have to be part of everything for it to be sustainable. Strengthen women's voices in decision-making processes, promote the agenda, responsive economic policies, enhance data collection on gender impacts of conflict to inform better policy making. So the truth is that empowerment of women is not just a matter of equality. It is essential for achieving peace and sustainable economic development. By addressing the gender aspects of conflict and integrating feminist perspectives into global agenda, we can create a more equitable and peaceful world. That's why the 2030 agenda was endorsed for sustainable development with its 13 sustainable development goals. Inclusive and key is the SDG 5, which is the one that is critical to women. The world community reaffirmed during that 2030 agenda its commitment to sustainable development through inclusion and environmental protection, fostering peaceful and inclusive society through a new global partnership. So the bottom line is women must be included in peace building in all its ramifications. The peace processing, negotiation, conflict resolution, mediation, agreements, post-conflict, all of it together, and even during peacetime. That's the connection if we want sustainable development. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Ayo. Women must be included. Absolutely. Our final speaker today is Reverend Laura George, Juris Doctorate, who is one of the visionaries behind the Founding Mothers Movement. Laura serves as Executive Director of the Oracle Institute, an educational charity think tank that studies the nexus between religion, politics, and human rights. Headquartered at the Peace Pentagon in Independence, Virginia, Oracle operates an award-winning publishing house, a spirituality school, and an international peace practice. Laura serves as the lead minister at the Oracle Temple, an esoteric church dedicated to the divine feminine and masculine. She authored the Oracle Trilogy, The Truth, about the 5 primary religions, the love of the 5th spiritual paradigm, and the light, and the new human. She is the trustee at World Constitution and Parliament Association, a steward of Earthwise Center, a branch leader at Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and a member of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle.
Hello, sisters and brothers around the world who are watching this full moon broadcast. The Red Tent Campaign is the 3rd call to action by the Founding Mothers, and we're glad you heeded the call to celebrate womanhood, our blood bond, and our collective passion and purpose. The Founding Mothers movement was incubated by female thought leaders from nearly every continent. After we launched in July of last year, our diversity grew to include women from around the world. Our goal is to unite all our sisters and thereby build a social movement with the strength to demand equal rights for all women and end war. Yes, these are lofty goals, as wars still rage and many of our sisters still suffer under gender apartheid. But this is not mission impossible. This is mission probable if we truly unite and use feminine wisdom to solve not just these 2 issues, but all aspects of the planetary polycrisis. In fact, thanks to technology and rising consciousness, this is the first time in human history that a strategic global movement is possible, which makes our mission quite simple when you break it down. Our job is to network, organize, and synergize our allies, women's groups, peace and democracy groups, spiritual communities, and environmental groups, each of which is tackling a distinct aspect of the poly crisis. On the geopolitical front, democracy is on the decline and oligarchy on the rise. There is no doubt that Project 2025 is just the tip of the iceberg, and there exists a diabolical plan to install a global world order based on gender and race inequality and economic slavery. Truly, the nihilism is palpable as men of greed and power dismantle the social, spiritual, and economic progress made during the 20th century, including the hard-won rights of women. We cannot let this happen. We will not let it happen. We are founding mothers of a new world, a world that is equitable, just, free, and at peace, a world that works for everyone and supports the continuation of the human experiment, a world that ensures future generations have the right to self-determination and self-actualization. Yes, we possess the power to shift the paradigm, but only if we exceed the level of organization displayed by the autocrats and oligarchs. I worked with Barbara Marx Hubbard, legendary futurist, and I was fortunate to have private time with the grandmother of the American New Age movement. We talked about the cutting edge of evolution, our emerging but still nascent capacity to unify and co-create. Humans are still learning how to attain the state of oneness, of wholeness, and of unity and diversity. Barbara transitioned in 2019, but she lived long enough to see that the paradigm shift is in peril. She privately shared her concerns about humanity's next challenge, learning to organize and synergize as a cohesive, co-creative team. Only then will we finally understand holism, that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Only then will we integrate the power of we the people and anchor positive social change at the planetary scale. So what exactly is this power? Where does it reside? And how do we access it? As Marianne and Sadhvi and our other speakers have explained, it is the power of feminine wisdom, which has been suppressed for millennia. Some call her Shakti. Others refer to her as Sophia or the Holy Shekna. She is rooted in Mother Earth and resides in every maiden, mother, and crone. She is our primordial great mother, the very genesis of cosmic creation. She not only births life, she nurtures it, protects it, and holds it sacred. Yes, the divine feminine is not only our mother, but the mother of all. But during that last paradigm shift, she was banished, or at best relegated to mythology. The result has been catastrophic. When we lost the sacred feminine, we lost half of the Godhead. Crusades were launched to kill those who held fast to her. Holy texts were destroyed to hide her power. And women who rebelled were burned at the stake as witches. So for nearly 2,000 years, most humans have been spiritually fueled by only half of the divine energy inherent in the cosmos. In short, how can women be equal on the earth plane if God is a man in the ethereal plane? Sadly, we will never be respected as long as the mother is disrespected. So women went underground, into their red tents. Only there could they feel safe to commune with each other and with the mother of all. We were forced to cover our heads, obey men, and submit to domination. Stripped of all rights, dignity, and freedom, it has taken us nearly 2,000 years to regain the priestess, the oracle, and the creatrix archetypes. And may I add, the warrioress who fiercely protects. Consequently, our future lies in the full resurrection of the divine feminine. The existential battle facing us is nothing short of a holy mission to finally integrate the sacred feminine and rebalance the original law of gender. It is up to us, ladies. Never before in recorded history have women led a paradigm shift. Never before have women possessed the power to chart a new course for humanity. But we possess that power now if we choose to use it. This is the goal of the Founding Mothers movement, to tap the energy of our sisterhood. And we have a strategic plan to get us there. Our mission is to unify women and the men who love us and to network at an unprecedented scale. Specifically, we've reimagined the International Congress of Women, which met for the first time in 1878. These women met in Paris, and they continued to meet in major world cities until the League of Nations was formed. Just imagine the challenges they faced with the communications and transportation systems of that era. Yes, we stand on the shoulders of giants, the first wave feminists. Our reactivated Global Women's Congress meets the first Saturday of every month. We gather in a secure virtual venue, and we record and store our sessions on a secure platform. In addition, delegates are vetted to prevent infiltration into our movement. Our tech circle is top-notch, and our other operational circles are all established, including a media circle, partner circle, campaigns, and proclamation circle. At our third session of Congress, we passed the Founding Mothers Proclamation. The proclamation has two parts. First, our demands for universal women's rights. Second, our solutions on how to achieve planetary peace. 7 international female attorneys worked on this document, which is available at our website. We are asking all women watching this broadcast to visit foundingmothers.world and join the movement. We also hope you will take this week to host or attend a red tent in your neighborhood. Lovely craft your red tent, whether it be an outdoor structure, a backyard picnic area, or an indoor sacred space. Have fun personalizing it with your friends and family. And if there is a girl in your life who is approaching or recently started to menstruate, invite her into your red tent, cherish her, and ensure that she is welcomed into womanhood with immense care and a deep sense of community. For Red Tent ideas, visit Founding Mothers World/Red Tent. There you'll see our top 10 list of ideas, including capturing menstrual blood for ritual, honoring our animal girl cousins, and staging girl cuts. We trust you will feel our cosmic sisterhood, commune at a transformational level, and form the sacred intention to shift the paradigm in the direction of truth, love, and light, the Founding Mothers motto. Lastly, please send us photos and videos of your Red Tent events. We're hosting a special Connect Fest this Thursday at noon Eastern, and it's also dedicated to the Red Tent theme. Connect Fest is our monthly town hall where you can learn more and ask questions about the Founding Mothers movement. So please send your pictures and videos to media@foundingmothers.world. And if you want to learn more about the Global Women's Congress, contact congress@foundingmothers.world. So let's go build some red tents, shall we? Om Jai.
Amazing. Thank you, Laura, for that offering of history and the vision of Founding Mothers and the Red Tent movement. We are going to close with our final offering from Karuna Kundalini, the co-founder of Light on Light Media and author of Light on Kundalini. She is a renowned yoga master who also instructs children, teenagers, and prenatal mothers. As an ordained wisdom keeper in the Vedic and Native American traditions, Karuna offers individual and group sessions on rebirthing, grief, women's issues, and nonviolence. She also offers various healing modalities, including the Ayurvedic diet. In her former life, Karuna was a Ford model and classically trained actress at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre in England. Karuna brings devotion and compassion to all of her work, including her service in the Peace Room and the Founding Mothers movement. She will amplify and preserve the soul frequency we set during our opening red tent ceremony by playing her gong, and now and every day until our full moon strike broadcast on Saturday, May 17th. Thank you for being with us today at the Founding Mothers Full Moon Red Tent Ceremony and Strike. May we continue to gather as global sisters with the power to shift the paradigm.
Dearest ones, take a moment to shut your eyes down, yet open the door to your own inner and outer red tent. Let us gather all our wisdom, all our grace, at every level, every stage, to reach the cosmos in this wonderful opportunity to share. The blood of the Mother Earth is the water of the oceans we cross. Welcome to the Red Tent.